Okay, great. So I'm now recording today's presentation. My name is Shawn Slon. Thank you all for being here. I represent St. John's University. I'm a recruitment manager. So I'm looking for bright young students like you to come join us in New York City. We are based in New York City. We do have small campuses in Europe as well. So with that, because I'm limited on time, I'm going to get into the presentation right away. So here we go. I'm sharing my screen. So today we're going to be talking very briefly about U.S. sport scholarship eligibility and how to play college or university level sport in the United States of America. So again, my name is Shawn Slon. Thank you all for being here. I'm a recruitment manager specifically for Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa, but my territory does extend outward, throughout some other parts of Asia as well. So I encourage you all to get in touch with me after my presentation. Come to the St. John's University booth, ask me questions about sports and about our application process and all our other generous scholarships as well. My email will also be at the end of the presentation if you'd like to be in touch with me after the fair. I'm more than happy to assist students with questions about applying a university in the United States, but also specifically about St. John's. I'll try to come to the chat after the presentation, but again, I encourage you to come to my booth to chat with me. So this is what we'll go through today. NCAA, which is the highest level of athletic competition, the league that is the highest level, their eligibility center. So what that means, you'll need to register with them. We'll go through the academic standards that they'll need to see in order for you to be able to compete in college sports. And then I'll provide you with several resources from the NCAA Eligibility Center and just briefly talk about my institution, which is St. John's University. So if whoever just drew on the screen can remove that, I don't know how to remove it. I would appreciate if you could delete what you just drew. Thank you. This is the NCAA Eligibility Center. Hold on. Okay, we're back. There are several different athletic leagues in the United States. These are them: the NAIA, NJCAA, and NCAA or NCAA. We're going to be talking about NCAA today. Again, that is the highest level of competition. There are scholarships available at the other levels as well, and all schools, or most schools that offer these high-level sports, also offer club and intramural sports, which are less competitive, let's say more casual sport. But again, today we're going to be talking about sport at the highest level and how to get scholarships. So the first step is that all interested athletes must register, create an account with the NCAA Eligibility Center. The NCAA Eligibility Center is part of the NCAA. They certify you guys, the high school students who are college-bound athletes, to be ready for collegiate or university level competition. And they do so by reviewing your academics to make sure you meet the requirements, and reviewing to make sure that you're an amateur in your sport. You're not a paid professional. Again, registration is important. You go to the website, you register. There are 3 different kinds of accounts. Most students can start with a free profile page. It's free to create. Again, that's the right place to begin. I'll leave this up for just one moment. You can scan this QR code to start your free profile page today. The second type of account is for all students planning to compete at the Division III level. So once you determine what level you think you can play, and we'll talk about that in a minute, Then if you think it's Division III, you want to set up account type number 2. It is less expensive. This is $70. Account type number 3 is $160, and this is required for Division I and II. Division I being the highest division. I'm going through this quickly today because I have a lot of information. Again, this is being recorded, so I will post it after the fair, so you'll have access to it after the fair. You'll have an NCAA ID once you create your account. That's really important whenever you're contacting the NCAA or contacting coaches. And it's important to understand that you also must apply and be accepted to the university or the school that's offering the NCAA sport that you're trying to become part of the team. So before you can compete on a team, you need to be accepted by the school. You have to apply to the university while you are contacting their coaches. So just because you're certified to play in the NCAA, that does not include acceptance to the school recruiting you. You must apply to the school as well. You have to take certain core courses. Just scan this QR code to have a look at the core courses. In other words, these are courses that you must take in high school to be eligible. They're broken down into these different areas. So just very quickly, because again, we have a lot to go through. For D1, Division I, this is what you'll need to do. The main thing to note here is that you'll need at least a 2.3 GPA or higher on the 4.0 GPA scale. You can find grade conversions online. We will be converting your grades for you. You can also find specific grade conversions for your country on an NCAA document, which I'll share with you in just 1 second. If you could please not draw on the screen, I would appreciate it. Sorry, just 1 moment. Okay. So again, I encourage you to look into this in more detail. I don't have time to go through the details right now, but you'll need these amount of credits in each of these areas for Division I, and again, that 2.3 or higher GPA on the 4.0 scale. Division II is similar, slightly lower GPA is accepted, but it's almost the same. This is similar as well. Division III schools, you know, more often than not, sorry, I got ahead of myself. That's on the following slide. Sorry, this is about SAT no longer being required. So the standardized test SAT that used to be required is no longer required to compete in the NCAA. It is still required for some universities, so you do need to make sure if the university that you're applying to requires it for their admission purposes, but it's important to understand that the NCAA does not. They do, however, still have their GPA and core course requirements, which are what I mentioned on the previous slides. Take a look at this flyer. That should be helpful. And this is what I was getting into just a minute ago. I jumped forward too soon, but Division III schools have their own eligibility for everything. So if you're thinking Division III, you have to be in contact with the school to understand what they require. This is probably, I would say, the most important QR code. So to scan this, you'll be able to open up this document and find criteria specific to your country with grade conversions and pretty much everything you'll need to know about academic requirements and academic guidelines to be able to play at the NCAA level. Okay, so We have 5 minutes left, which is perfect. Gives me enough time to talk about my university. Again, I work for St. John's University. I'm a recruitment manager. I'm looking for students like you. I'm looking for athletes. I'm looking for all students who are interested in a high quality of education based in New York City. We're a big sports school. We're known as New York's team. We're based in New York City. Our basketball team plays at Madison Square Garden. That's the home of the New York Knicks, the professional basketball team. We share their stadium. Aside from basketball, we have 16 other or 17 total teams, and I'll list them in just one moment. So between men's and women's sports, we have 17 sports teams. We're part of the Big East, the conference, the Big East, which is sort of the subset league of the NCAA Division I that we're a part of. And we have 34 Big East championships to date. Our athletics were established in 1907. So our athletics have been running for over 100 years and are just a big part of the institution. These are the teams that we have. So the men's teams are listed first, and then we have the women's teams listed in the second two columns, the second and third column. We recruit very heavily from international student populations for most of these sports. Basketball on both sides would probably be the exception, where most of our students come from the United States, but we're interested in international basketball players as well. Typically, we're looking for, athletes in all these sports, but we find many international students to play for our fencing, golf, soccer, tennis teams, track. Again, pretty much all the sports here. This is just such a lovely photo of the St. John's University campus. We're based in New York City, and this is our 100-acre campus. I don't think any other institutions can really say that. We really offer the best of both worlds in terms of big city. You're going to be living and studying in New York City, and you get the opportunity to be on this wonderful, large, beautiful college campus. So you see the sports fields there. And again, it's just a wonderful opportunity to get the best of both worlds when it comes to big American college campus with sports fields or pitches and access to the center of New York City at your fingertips. Again, we're in New York City, but it's a residential neighborhood, not right in the center. And that's why we have this huge campus. This is just one other view on campus. You'll see students relaxing and playing casual basketball and casual sports. That's a dormitory behind the students. You can choose to live on campus. It is not required. So that is your option. So again, and we offer club and intramural sports. So for students who love sports, but maybe can't compete at the highest level, we have sport at every level for you as well. But if you are a top athlete and you want to market yourself to college coaches, it's your responsibility to do that. So you have to contact college coaches. So look at the third bullet point here, and that's the main point, is don't be shy. Start the communication early. At any time with college coaches, you have to take the initiative, and you can find coaches' contact information online. You just Google, athletic directory or sports directory. I can provide the directory for all our coach contact information, but it's easy to find online, and you should contact the coaches. Start now. Contact assistant coaches. They're less busy and more likely to reply to you. You can contact the head coach too, but imagine how many emails they get. Create a sort of athletic resume, put together your statistics, make a highlight video, make another video with like a whole section of a game It's not just highlights showing maybe a great game you had. Coaches like to see both highlights, but also, nonstop footage, without cuts. Don't make the videos super amateur, shaky, and hard to watch. They do not need to be professional either, but they should at least be easy to watch and decent looking. Like everything in life, if you have connections that can help you, I encourage you to use them. If your coach can reach out to the coach, great. If you have a friend who plays sports already in the United States, see if they can reach out. Do whatever you can. And then there are summer camps and showcases throughout the world that different coaches or recruiters do attend. There are recruiting services, private companies that you can hire to help you with all this. It is not required. Could be helpful, obviously, but you can do it on your own. It's difficult. You need to figure out a way to stand out. And with that, I say thank you. Here's our link to apply. It is free of charge. It's just St. John's, stjohns.edu/apply. Our undergraduate application is free of charge. Again, I'll be reviewing your applications. You're welcome to email me anytime. My name is Shawn Slon. This is my email, slons@stjohns.edu. Thank you again. This is the contact information for the NCAA Eligibility Center as well. You're welcome to get in touch with them if you have any questions specific to athletic eligibility. Thank you again for your time. I guess I'll stay just briefly one moment or two to try to answer questions, but I do need to head back to my booth. So let's see. I'm just gonna breeze through the chat questions really quickly. Let me see if there's anything. Do intellectual sports such as chess? I'm not sure about that question. Sorry. We don't have scholarships specific to chess and things like that. They may exist, but if they do, I'm not familiar with that. Sorry. So we don't have men's ice hockey, but many institutions in the United States do. I encourage you to just Google NCAA ice hockey. You'll find lots of schools. Let's see what else. Contacts of St. John's University, somebody's asking for. So I showed the main contact would be me. I will be your admission counselor if you apply. So you want to get in touch with me. Again, my name is Shawn. Here's my email. It is Slon is my last name, Slon S at stjohns.edu, stjohns.edu. I see one person raising their hand, Beckner. If you want, you can go ahead and ask a question. I'm going to stop the recording though now.